Hello, Maximum Octane. Welcome back. This is, I don't know how many now interviews from Fajardo, which I keep saying wrong. I'm supposed, anybody know how to roll your tongue?
Fajardo.
Fajardo. Oh, shoot. Fajardo? I can't roll my R's either, apparently.
Okay. I was told this morning I need to roll my R in there, and I was practicing and it wasn't working, but still here. Love it. Wonderful. So I have the crew here. Well, not all of the crew, but the people that make things go. The leadership team from A&R Complete Auto Care in Clarksville, Tennessee. So how close is that to Nashville?
30 to 45 minutes.
30 to 45 minutes.
Depending on
okay.
what part of town.
So we have Andrew White and Rachel White, and we have Will Olges.
Ogles.
Ogles, sorry.
No
And I even wrote it down. Please accept my apologies.
No worries. I've done this a long time. I've been called a lot worse.
Yes, but that shouldn't happen, especially since I only asked you 2 seconds ago and made sure I said it right. And said it's just like it's spelled, so please forgive me. So there's that. So interesting thing is Andrew has a passion for barbecue, so I normally don't start out the interviews talking about those things, but let's hear about barbecue. What's going on in barbecue? Because you're like world famous amongst the family here of, anybody mentions like add a good piece of brisket or steak, whatever, and everybody's like, you have to talk to Andrew and he, so.
Yeah, so we've done competition barbecue. We've kind of toyed around with it for a couple years, cooked with some other teams. And this year we're going all in. Rachel and I have started our own team. So the shop is A&R Complete Auto Care, and the barbecue team is A&R Q. So
I love it.
So we're gonna dive in with both feet, and we've definitely won some awards with some other teams, and looking to carry that success on to what we can do as a family. And yeah.
And people don't realize how serious the barbecue circuit is. Like it is so serious. I had to be a long time ago celebrity judge on a chili thing, which I know is different than barbecue, but I thought, I could judge chili. I like to eat, right? So I didn't have any idea how serious. And I wandered over to somebody's thing, wasn't paying attention. And it was like Secret Service came and grabbed me by my elbows and said I could not look at anybody else's chili because I was a judge. And I was like, are you kidding me? They made me remove my glasses when I was judging. It is serious. And the amount of time you all put into the food craft, it's not a joke.
Yeah, we normally show up. We show up on Thursday for a Saturday contest. It takes that much time to get prepped and set up, and it's kind of like racing. I'm sure a lot of ATI members understand the hobby of racing. It's not a cheap hobby, and it gets serious.
Oh, they're serious. Yeah. It's very cutthroat. Yeah. Like it's shockingly cutthroat.
We'll say this, and the barbecue family it's like the ATI family. There's anybody there will do anything for you. It's serious, but it's not cutthroat. So anybody there will help you. You should go to any contest. If you need anything, you'll find somebody that has what you need. It's a great family. So that's one thing that really drew us to it is, we just love being around like-minded people that are friendly and
then help. It's not like the chili people because they're crazy.
Yeah,
they are seriously crazy.
I haven't ventured into that world.
It's very, like you were saying, very family from Thursday until about noon on Saturday. Then there's about an hour and a half span on Saturday where it does become, you're fending for yourself, and that's turn-in time when you have timed slots where you have to turn in all your different meats, and that time is very serious.
Yeah, so there's a lot of rules. There's actually multiple sanctioning organizations. So depending on if you're Kansas City or Memphis or Georgia or even Florida has their own, and they all have different rules. They all do things differently. So you got to keep up with what you're doing wherever you go. And yeah, it's a lot.
And we're going to swing over to Will in a sec because I know the both of you say you're able to do this because of Will. But
absolutely.
Everything amazes me how much things, and whether it's barbecuing or anything anybody does really has like so many business lessons in it, and things that you could take back to your business, and things from your business you can take into your craft and hobby. What are some of the things that you've learned from barbecuing that you brought back to the business, or vice versa?
You got anything? What are you thinking?
Go for it.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about
Well,
that.
you just were saying about you got to follow the rules in different states. So I'm like in my head, like OSHA, like you have to stay up on everything that's going on, and
that is true.
and those, those kind of things, and
Yeah.
the kind of meat, and the whatever, like the same thing with parts. Like there's so many things that's just when you're speaking, I'm like, oh, okay, we got to do that in the shop. We got to have a process. We got to have whatever. You got to get their prep. You got to get.
Yeah, the processes and having SOPs, I think it goes both ways, because there is a strict timeline and recipes you have to follow, and it has to be done the same way every time, especially when you find that winning recipe. So it is very much following a process, especially, with multi-stores, and you have to have the processes in line for all. So like the McDonald's hamburger is the same everywhere. It's very similar.
Yeah, we went to a class a couple months ago, and the guy teaching the class gave us his timeline. He had it down to every 30 seconds, starting at 4 a.m. He had every 30 seconds there was something in a time slot of what he had to do.
Wow.
But he wins. He wins everything. So, I guess I'm learning you gotta have a strict way of doing things, and it's got to be in writing.
Productivity, wow. So many things that just parallels. I would never be able to win one of those contests things, because nothing I ever make is exactly the same twice. I'm not a good, even if there's a recipe, it's like maybe it's a little, I don't level, I don't do whatever, but.
That'll get you.
I've had people that have tasted your barbecue, and they say it's like the most amazing thing. They heard angels singing when they ate it. They're like that.
Well,
it's a hard bar, because it's set so high that when you go out to eat and you want some ribs or you want some brisket, it just doesn't compare.
So is that one of the perks of working at A&R, is that you get to have some of the barbecue?
Oh, absolutely. But it's also it's the catalyst to what brings us all together once a week. And, that's the one.
So you barbecue for the shop once a week? Oh, lucky people.
We shut down, we eat together. If there's anything that needs to be, gone over, we go about it, during that hour. Most of the time we eat, we make fun of each other, and then we stare at our phones for 30 minutes.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. But I always hold one-on-ones every Wednesday morning. And
You're making my heart sing right now, right?
And, I do
He has a
everything.
schedule.
If I'm 5 minutes off, the employees are coming to me saying, hey, we're going to do this. Yeah, give me some. Yeah, actually, let's go now. But if there's something that's common going on, I can hit it with each individual, and then if we need to, we can bring it up in a group setting.
So do you hold the barbecue over their head? Because I feel like since it's so popular and so good that you'd be like, listen, if you don't get this done or bill 8 hours today, you're not getting ribs on Friday. Have you thought about that approach?
No. Can't go about it that way. But I guess I could.
See, I just gave you an idea.
Right.
No ribs for you.
You're off on Wednesday.
Yeah, so barbecue has quite the interesting relationship in our business, because it did kind of start as cooking for the team. We do it every Wednesday. We've done it for, I'd say, probably 7 years now, 6 or 7.
How many years have you owned the business?
2009, so 14.
Okay.
Yeah, 14 years.
So half of the time that you've had the business, you started this barbecue or feeding the crew.
Yeah, it started as feeding the crew, and we've done that nonstop for I think about 7 years. But then fast forward, we've developed our team, we built our team, and then we brought this guy onto our team, and so Will's our daily operator, and so he allows us to go do competition barbecue, and that's it's a two-way street.
So that's going to be very interesting for you in the second in command role, because you're really filling in for two people. at the shop. So how do you handle that?
Oh, it's a controlled love, or a love of controlled chaos at times. But to be honest with you, it's ownership. I've always taken, from day one, they gave me an opportunity, and I wanted and will show up, bust my ass, do everything I can possibly do the way that needs to be done, not the way that I want it done. Because I can get lazy sometimes, as most humans can, but the way that I want them to be able to look at and be proud of. And I fight for that, man. I will fire the best damn technician that I've got if he's throwing a kink in the chain.
I love to hear that right now, because especially today, because people say they can't find anybody, they can't find good employees, they can't whatever, and they're holding on to people that are really doing damage to their internal customers or external customers, and they keep holding on. So I just love that you said you'll take the best player off the team if they don't.
Yeah, if they don't fit, and it's not about. It is about productivity, but it's about you take care of the people that are inside the building. They will gladly take care of all the people that are coming into the building, and it starts there. And just like on our website, we're in a people business that happen to fix cars, and that's where it's got to start. It may hurt. It may hurt like crazy for a few months till you get that right person, but that's what's needed at that time. And you can try to fix it and try to fix it and try to fix it. I always try to do it, and everybody knows that I'll do it 3 times. If it's on that 3rd time, we're going to part ways. You are now a customer.
But when you set the expectation and they know that, and I think that's where other people get into trouble too. They let things build up and they don't have that expectation, and they just whatever, and then something happens and they snap and they're like, you're gone. And you have to know that here's my chances. I've been counseled. I got another chance. I've been counseled, and there's not going to be any more.
And that's where the one-on-ones come in, the weekly one-on-ones. Everybody knows from week to week if they're meeting the expectations or not. So there's not an opportunity for things to build up. At least in our business, there's just really not. If it's building up, it's because they're just choosing not to say something. So
yeah, and amen. And during the one-on-ones, everybody has dubbed it therapy with Will.
We even put a couch in his office.
Yes. They did?
Yes. And there's certain expectations that we do, but there's also, they're grown adults, and this is what we need to do. Mm-hmm. And if you can't do this, then I'm sorry, you're a grown adult. What's next? I'm not going to sit there and yell at you. I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you this is how it is, and this is the way it needs to be, and we're all going to come together to try to make it happen. If you need help, ask, man. That's what we're here for. And a lot of people ask. Some people don't. Mm-hmm. I can't control that. I can't control every single little thing that goes on, and I'm not going to try. I did try. That's where the gray hair came from. And I don't want any more. So I can only control what I can control. And as with them being employees and them being adults, set the expectations early, set them often,
and trust but verify, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
We have 3 guiding principles in our business, and this is something that Rachel and I developed a long time ago, and we tell all our team members that this is where you go to find your answer. So so treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Treat all the customers the way you would want to be treated, as if you were the customer. So that's number 1. Number 2 is make the desired profit on every job unless number 1 is more important. And number 3 is make sure everybody on the team is taken care of to the level that they feel satisfactory. So if you need to make a decision, let's look at those 3 principles, and I'm sure if you think on them, you'll find an answer. So that's kind of.
Love that. So
Yeah.
they run it through that to see. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So for being in the position you're in, how challenging is it? Because I know there's a lot of second in commands out there that get frustrated because they have all these ideas and they want to do things just completely different. And the owners have a vision of what their business should be. How do you meld the two together?
Oh, that's super easy. My vision is what they want. I am there to run their store. I'm there to take care of their people. This is mom and dad. And, I'll stand in front of any bullet that comes at them 100%. They know what they've done for me, and it'll take the rest of my working career to just thank them.
That's very powerful, and don't make me cry. I got a whole day and night of events to.
Well, and yeah, and we follow pretty strictly the rocket fuel method. So I'm the visionary, which, as the book says, I'm allowed to have 9 bad ideas for every one good one. And so these 2 are the ones that filter my ideas. Will is my true integrator in the business. If you go through the actual organizational chart, and we do, we sit down together. It's something we're actually fixing to start. If you go past rocket fuel to traction, one of the things they talk about is the visionary integrator having the same page meeting, which is just either just the 2 of us or just 3 of us. We haven't worked that out 100%. And it's got to be away from the rest of the leadership team and away from the rest of the staff. And that's where we talk everything out and, okay, this is what we're going to put out to the team. So then when we do go out to the team, it's a unified force, and we're all on the same page. So we're still in the process of kind of working some of this out. We're about to open our 2nd store.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so
You have it all picked out and all where? Or?
we do. We have
Good for you.
We have the location. It's all in the paperwork with the bank right now.
How exciting.
So we have already hired the 2nd store manager. We're going to bring him into our 1st store and train him. We think we're probably roughly 90 days out. So we're still trying to figure out what the next level looks like for us, as far as Will splitting his time between 2 stores, and what that looks like for us, which I think it's still going to look like barbecuing for us.
Yep.
So are you going to barbecue on a different day now? Wednesdays at one store and Tuesdays or something at another? Or?
Yeah, so we were talking about this in the pool the other day. Our 10-year goal is to have 4 stores.
Okay.
So I think I can do it myself for 2 stores. Once we go past 2, I may just have to hire a chef to cook us lunches or something. I don't know. I'm going to figure that out, because I don't know if I can do 4 stores in a week. Not every week.
Be a lot. That'd be a lot. Rachel, how hard? I mean, the business is almost like your baby, right? When you grow a business from the beginning and you watch all the stumbling go through the phases and the grow things. How hard has it been to relinquish a little bit of the stuff and say, okay, I know Will has this. Let me.
Wow, it's funny that you asked me that question, because I have serious control issues. But getting to know Will and seeing his ability and knowing that his vision and his morals and everything are completely aligned with ours, it's been pretty easy to just to let go piece by piece and just let him run with it, and he kills it. And I'm just super, super thankful for him. He knows. At first, the thought of it gave me.
It's terrifying for anyone, I think.
Extremely terrifying. Very, very anxious feelings, and just I would stay up at night. What if this happens? What if this happens? How do I fix this? But it's been so smooth. It's just, it really, it has. It's a blessing, and there's a couple things I still need to let go of. I'm getting there. But yeah, it's working out.
Yeah.
So.
And how about for you? How did you relinquish some of the things?
Oh man, so Will's our first true second in command. We tried, with some managers over the years, and I think the reality is we had some not right people, but I also handled them wrong, and it was hard for me. And so, I'll be completely open on this. It's even once we kind of put Will in charge, it was hard for me to move out. And as odd as it sounds, the hardest part was actually moving out of my office. So Rachel and I both moved our office home. But that was hard to give up, being in the building every day. And Will here kind of just took over my office one day, and I kind of lost my crap over it. And then I came back like 30 minutes later and said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Did you
that.
come back with a brisket? I'm so sorry.
That would have taken more than 30 minutes. No, it was hard. But it took me from the day that Will moved into my office to getting my office set up at home, probably 2 weeks. And after that, I was like, all right, I can do this.
Yeah, that was a rough 2 weeks
It
of
was.
dealing with homeless Andrew.
Yes, I was homeless for a little while.
But actually, I moved out a lot easier and quicker
Yeah.
than you did.
Mm-hmm.
My office at the shop is now the training room and the break room, where they've got a hammock and a TV and a recliner, and
Oh,
then
how
there's
fun.
the training area too. But yeah, that was fun. One day to walk into the shop and Andrew's office was there, and then the next, it was not Andrew's office anymore. Will, I think he knew, okay, I have to do this now and quick, just rip off the Band-Aid, because Andrew was going to struggle some not being hands in everything every day. So.
Yeah.
Well, but it's hard to take off that hat, and I think a lot of people don't realize that when that's what you do for so long, and you have this vision, and you created something from nothing, and then it's like, how do I can't even let somebody decorate my Christmas tree. Like my kids, when they were little, I gave them their own tree. I wasn't the mom and I'll do anything with my kids, but you're not putting your Cheerio ornaments or whatever stuff in school. So I actually bought them their own trees to put in their room so they could decorate and do whatever they wanted, because I have like very specific vision for my trees. And so, I know, and with the business, it's much harder, but.
Well, and the reality of it was, by the time we got to that point, I was occupying an office, but I wasn't really doing anything anymore anyways. So it was the right thing to do. It was hard, but Will can tell you, he was running it by that point. I was just there occupying an office. I was napping in my chair most days, but if we're being real about it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like they said, we're fixing to open another store, and then I'm going to have to do the same thing that they did for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that scares the hell out of me. Because, they have trusted me with their baby, and I'm, so far this baby's been growing. And now I'm going to be responsible for 2 babies. And number one, I'm excited as all get out to try and to tackle this thing and get the right people in place. And I think we've got one hell of a good start with the gentleman that we've hired for this second store. But the biggest thing is the relinquishing control on the day-to-day.
So you're going to be going through the same exact cycle now?
Yes, ma'am. which, she thinks she's bad about giving up control.
But we do have a very solid store lead in place at A&R #1 that can handle. She's there now, killing it, so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's great. She's gonna do fine. I know what you're gonna be going through, because I had to get there with you, you just need to, it will be fine with Angie.
Yeah, there's going to be growing pains. It's what happens after that. That's the main thing. And we've got one hell of a good team, man. Super blessed in that part. What we have right now and the knowledge that's behind it. Just very, very thankful that they have given us the tools and opportunity to do what we need to do to succeed.
Yeah.
And the further that we succeed, the more they succeed. And that's what I love.
And Rachel and I, when we're not barbecuing, we spend a lot of time visiting other shops.
Yes.
And picking ideas off. And we did a shop visit back in November.
Which one? I mean, we're all over the country, literally
Yep.
just popping into stores.
Yep.
Just like,
That's
hey.
wonderful.
And so we went out to Colorado and visited a shop. We actually ended up spending 2 days there, and that was kind of a game changer for us. It's kind of the what if mentality. Well, what could happen? And so you go into other shops and you see, well, I've dreamed about that, and now I see it happening. Now I know that it can be done, and now I'm going to go 100 miles an hour towards that.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's a lot of how we spend our time now. So,
That's very exciting.
yeah.
So, Will, what do you have in place now that you think is going to make it not easy, but that you feel confident in opening the other store?
Oh no, it's the people. I mean, the people are going to make it. That's where the confidence comes into play. Is the people that we currently have, and everybody knows that. There may be an occasion where, hey, we've got to get you to this store to help to do this or to help with this, and everybody's on board with it. If they're not on board with it, one-on-ones is a good opportunity to let me know. But so far, during one-on-ones, everybody's been 100% on board with coming over, doing what needs to be done for the company.
And that's not on the barbecue schedule of every 30 seconds, right?
No, I can't, not to that degree. I'd like for it to be to that, but again, control.
Right.
I can only can control what I can control.
So do you all have the jitters, like when you were opening the first store jitters? Do you feel the same way, or is it different?
It's different. It's similar but different. Yeah. So the store we're purchasing is an existing shop. It's been in business since 1983, 86, I think.
Oh, wow.
So it's been around for a while. It's a similarly sized store, so 14 bays at shop 1, same at shop 2. So we got some big shoes to fill, but yeah, a little nerve-wracking.
I mean, it's similar in we're jumping in with both feet, and the parachute will open, it's just, so those jitters are there, but I feel a sense of calm with this one too, because store 1, we didn't know what the heck we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
We just started a business. That's fixed cars. I was doing oil changes. He was doing repairs. That was that. But now we have a Will, and we have the SOPs and a great team, at store 1 that, like they were saying, will overflow some into 2 and help with training and things. So I feel like we have our ducks lined up on this one. There's still
We're
also
not quite as broke as we were back then.
Yes, that's true. But,
That always makes things a little easier, doesn't it?
Easier. Lost my train of thought. But yeah, there's still the unknowns, and that makes me a little anxious. But I have just my faith and my people and my team and the processes, and so I'm okay.
Yeah. And back to the team, so we operate on a principle of full transparency. So we tell the team everything. I'm a firm believer that in the lack of real information, people will insert their own information.
Oh, yes.
And so, we're just open about the whole team knows what we're doing. They know, they know the second shop's coming. They know exactly where we're at in the process. They know that some of them might be moving. They know that we don't know yet. We've been very clear with them. We don't know. We haven't figured it out yet, but we're getting there. And we take ideas from them. And as you know, some technicians have lots of ideas, and
oh yeah,
you have to filter some of those. But it's all good. So.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time out today to join me, because I know there's a lot to be done here and a lot of fun things going on. So This was awesome. So Rachel, any closing advice or words of wisdom or anything you want to leave our viewers and listeners with?
I think that something that's resonated with me through this process is if it doesn't bring some sort of fear, then it's not enough. And just take the leap. And just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. How about you, Will?
Yeah, no. One of the biggest things that I've always stood by is be as real and as honest with each and every person that you come across that you can. My mom used to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it. In the business world, sometimes you got to just say it. But don't be afraid, and it's how you say it. But just don't stop growing. If you stop growing, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, my word of the year this year is growth.
Love it. Love it.
I think I may or may not have stole it from Andrew, but
May or may not. When you were rifling through his office and kicking him out, maybe you saw his word in there. Is that?
no.
And Andrew, any from you?
Yeah, I think the thing that's kind of kept me going through all this is just learning to filter things out of my life, learn what's important. If it doesn't bring me joy, or some sort of happiness, I just kind of filter that stuff out. You have to determine what's important. If you get bogged down with every single thing, you can't say yes to everything. And if you do, you're just going to burn out. So,
I just want to clone the three of you, make it a package, and then just send it out everywhere and say, okay, do this. Whoop, hitting my microphone. All right. So is there a recipe that you can give me to share with our listeners? Not one of your secret ones, but if you have one, I can post from even if it's coleslaw or something.
I could send you some stuff to send out.
All right, you just one. They can have just one, and nothing of your secret sauce or whatever stuff. And then you're going to give me links for your shop so people can check them out. And do you have an affiliation with a barbecue company, equipment or something?
Not specifically. We got a lot of different ones that we use.
Okay.
So I can send you some links though.
All right, so I'll put them on there because everybody should be barbecuing. Everyone should be barbecuing for their shop or doing something for. I know a lot of folks buy pizzas and all that, and that's great too. But there's something.
Do that occasionally.
Yeah, there's something different about when you're actually cooking for your people and having a meal with them versus and. Everybody can make something, even if it's just a dirty water hot dog or something or so.
There you go.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Kim.
And everybody, I will be back next week. So stay safe, make good choices, and stay inspired. Bye-bye.